Let's see if it's working. Yep, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are live. Alright guys, so I'm gonna be coding. I'm gonna continue coding React Firebase. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna start from where I left off yesterday night. So as you can see, I'm trying to code a Twitter clone.
Hi. In this series, we're going to be learning how to use React and Firebase to create a fully featured social media application. This application will let users sign up.
I like to go at a 1.75 speed.
But we can also upload it.
So these are tweets. So I'm building a Twitter clone. These are tweets. You can register, you can follow people, you can like, comment on tweets. In this app, it's called screens instead of tweets. So you'll see a lot of the times they are coding with the concept of tweets being screens. And what I'll be doing is I'll be coding with the concept of tweets being puzzle pieces, because I'm trying to code Unpuzzle. So let's see how it goes. I'm live on 3 platforms, so let's get it. Alright, so let's open up VS Code, and I am also blogging wherever I get stuck. So that's where we are at. Now let's begin. So I remember being right. So I remember leaving off
the point that we had earlier, and let's open up a new tab. So much faster, but deployment. Okay, so let's save. Now we can run Firebase deploy and test it. There's nothing wrong with that, but deployment takes some time. We can instead run Firebase serve, which will serve our application locally.
So I did Firebase serve. There was an issue with Firebase serve I want to show you. So when you go from Firebase deploy, see, this is the error I kept getting when I wrote did Firebase serve. It was running, but then when I would send a request, a post request to creating a puzzle piece, it gave me this error, and I had to do some digging, and I wrote about it in this article. It's still in draft mode, so you won't be able to see it, but you can see it in the stream. But essentially, when you go from Firebase deploy to Firebase serve, you will need to add this file called admin, and to do that, you go to this link here, and it shows you how to do it. You basically go into Firebase console, and you generate a new private key, and you download that key, and you store it as admin.json in a key folder, and then you attach that admin.json object into this part of the code, into initialize app. So that's what it is, initialize app. Put in that admin JSON, got some private information there, and yeah, and now it's working. So I will show you Postman. Let's go create a puzzle piece. Let's go to body, hello.com, user for puzzle piece 4, send, and document created successfully. We can see in our console. I hope I'm in the right console. No, I'm not. So let's go to the right one. Yeah, I have a lot of Gmail accounts for multiple projects that I do. This is the database for Unpuzzle. let's go to database, and as you can see, we just stored new 3 user 4. There we go. May 6th, 7:56. This is it right here. So we got that going. It's working. Let's continue.
Which is so much faster and will give us the ability to save and then immediately serve again, and we don't have to deploy each time we make a change and we want to test. So now this is gonna serve locally using our machine as a server and give us the endpoints. So let's take the create screen endpoint. As you can see, it says localhost instead of the endpoint that we had earlier. And let's open up a new tab and let's test this. Let's change the type of the request to a post request, and let's give it a body. We're gonna click row.
So that's what I did already.
Fantastic. Now we shouldn't. There's a problem here, which is that if I would send a GET request to this, of course without a body, it will say we have an error, like a server error, when actually this is not a server error, this is a client.
So it's not a server error, it's a client error. Okay, why?
Of course without a body, it will say we have an error, like a server error, when actually this is not a server error, this is a client error. We shouldn't.
It's not a server error, it's a client error because you're trying to
send a GET request to a route that is meant for a post request.
So we're trying to do a GET request for a route that's meant for a post request. Therefore, it's not a server error. It's because that route exists, I'm guessing. Rather, it's a client error. So we gotta do something on the client.
We can prevent this by doing this. So we can say if request dot-method does not equal post, we should stop here and return a response. So res.status. It's not going to be 500, it's going to be 400, which means this is a problem from the client. This is a bad request. And send a JSON with an error that says method not allowed.
Okay, so yeah, okay, it makes sense now. So it's not a server error. We didn't make any mistakes with the server code. Basically, the client is requesting something in a way. Is requesting something that we don't really allow in the server. So we don't allow like any other method but post method to be executed on this route. Create screen. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's see, new screen. It's very important to find where in the scope we need to code. Okay, return res JSON error method not allowed. All right.
We'll solve the problem of not having to answer to a GET request. So if you go to Postman and if you click send, this time it will say method not allowed.
Let's try that. It should work. Method not allowed. Cool.
With an error code, rather data send request to persist data. So you can start to see how this is coming together and how we can send the request to fetch data, send request to persist data, and this is obviously just the start. We're gonna have so much more. In the next video, we're gonna start to implement express so that we don't have to say this if request method on each request, and we can group our requests and handle them so much better using express. So that we don't have to say this if request method on each request, and we can group our requests and handle them so much better using express.
Oh, that was a bit too fast. I need to slow down. That part was a bit too.
Request method express so that we don't have to say this if request method on each request, and we can group our requests and handle them so much better using express.
Group requests and handle them better. Okay, he didn't say exactly how we're gonna handle them better, but some ways is, I guess, not putting if and all that stuff. So let's do that. Timestamp 27:55. We are going to use Express.js to group our requests and avoid typing code such as, there's a code right there. No, it doesn't work anymore. How do I add a code? What? That's crazy. I swear there was... How do you add code? Yeah, but I don't want to do, I just want to do a small line. Okay, I'm not gonna, okay, such as, that sucks. Bro, there used to be like, there we go. But still. Ah. Okay. We are good there. So yeah, we're gonna use Express.js to group our requests and avoid typing code such as blah blah blah. Okay, that's that. Now we go to. Now we're gonna install Express. Let's get it.
So let's install now Express and make this code look much better than it does now. So one problem with having our functions structured like this is that when we want to have two endpoints of our API point at the same name of the endpoint but handle two different functionalities, we would have to put everything in one function and check the request method and respond accordingly. Two different. We want to have two endpoints of our API point at the same name of the endpoint but handle two different functionalities. We would have to put everything in one function and check the request method and respond accordingly, which doesn't look really good. So this is one of the things that Express is going to help us with. Okay, so let's install Express. Let's go to the console and make sure that we are.
So what he's saying is, if we go to a route where that is meant for post and get, then Express helps us do that much better than not using Express.
The functions folder, so cd functions, and run npm install save Express.
Okay, so we're going to functions now. So right now our root folder is yeah, ls function. So we're trying to go to cd funcs tab. Okay, functions, we're in it, and npm install save Express.
And once it's installed, we can actually start bringing it in. And yeah, it's installed. It's do const Express equals
admin. Okay, let's delete this. Const Express. Go require Express.
And we have to initialize the app. Let's do const app equals Express and call it like a function, because that's what it is. Let's remove this comment in this hello world function. We don't need them anymore. And let's see how we can change this route. So instead of get screams, we can actually copy this code that's inside of the get screams route and get rid of this. And we can do app.get.
Okay, so what happened here? So app Express. Okay, so all the routes will go through Express. Requires, okay. So Express hello, let's get rid of this, and admin, we copy it,
and we do /screams,
admin app.get / puzzle pieces. Well, what did I do for the get puzzle pieces? So
because the first parameter of the function is the name of the route, and
okay, so yeah, so puzzle pieces, that's where it is.
The second one is a handler, which takes a request and a response, similar to what we did like earlier. And here we're gonna paste back the code that we had, and Now this on its own will not do the trick. We need to tell Firebase that this app is the container for all our routes, or actually the routes are in the app. So we can do exports, and this is one of the things that that Express will let us do, because what we want to have is one of the best practices for having an API is if we, let's say, have an endpoint HTTPS, and let's say our base URL is called baseurl.com. We don't want something like this straight away /screens, because it's good practice to have /API and /something, because on the actual base URL itself you might have your website, but when you do /API /whatever, you can have your API there. In some cases they do API.baseURL, but it's just different conventions. So we want this prefix. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to do exports.api equals functions.https.onRequest, and here instead of passing one route and one function, we just pass our app, and this will automatically turn into multiple routes. And now if we save and if we deploy, so we run Firebase deploy, it should prompt us.
Hold up. So screens, get, okay, yeah, puzzle pieces, create puzzle pieces, okay, get puzzle pieces, okay.
It should ask us that whether we're sure we're going to delete the get screens function, because we just deleted that code. Yes, it does. We will say yes, delete hello world and get screens because we don't need them anymore. Okay, now that it's deployed, we can actually go to our Firebase console, go to functions, make sure you're on that project, and there we go. We have this one function called API, and we have create screen, and the other one.
Well, why is there an API function again? Because on, oh right, exports.api, cool. Exports.api, which has that, yes.
And here, instead of passing one route and one function, we just pass our app, and this will actually go called API. We will not go to localhost. Once that we created are gone. Okay, so let's actually test this. So we go to Postman, and I believe, well, we will not go to localhost because we didn't do a serve. So let's actually copy this. Oops, let's go to.
So now let's make sure we're following along that video. Let me hide my bookmarks bar after 24 hour long. Okay, yeah, API, that's cool. It's working. All right, now.
Here and copy this endpoint, yep, from here. And go to Postman. And if we type this.
Man. Oh, shoot. It's not gonna work because,
and I believe called API, we have create screen, and the other ones that we created are gone. Okay, so let's actually test this. So we go to Postman, and I believe, well, we will not go to localhost because we didn't do a serve. So let's actually copy this. Oops, let's go to here and copy this endpoint, yep, from here, and go to Postman. And if we type this, we have to add our actual endpoint, which is screens.
Oh, okay. So I can do that. Puzzle pieces. There we go. Well, is it working?
As we set it to be, and we send a GET request, and we wait for it. And
nope. For me, there is none. There we go. We got all our data. 1, 2, 3, 4 puzzle pieces. 4 puzzle pieces. Let's go. We want this to be millions and millions of puzzle pieces. All right.
And there we go. We got our screens. And now, if we send a post request, it should fail, and it does fail.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to do every single part of this video, but initially that's.
And it says that the route was not found, which is cool, because so now we don't have to do this thing where we do if request method.
So that's the point of using Express. We don't need to keep doing like if request blah blah blah. Like we don't want our code to behave in a way where clients or users are sending bad requests and it's supposedly the server's fault, which really it isn't.
Because posts don't send an error, like Express takes care of that. Okay, so let's change the create screen route as well. So what we're going to do is actually just delete this part. We'll just write app.post, and the route will be /screen, and this is the handler. And here, I think everything is fine. And we don't check if it's a post because this is automatically doing that. And here, I think everything is fine. The route will be /screen, and this is the handler.
Okay. So we go change this part to app.post, Damn, we're deleting a bunch of stuff. Okay. App dot. Oh. Post. Puzzle pieces. Right. Okay. This part we. Yeah. That should be good.
Test it locally. We don't have to deploy. So we run Firebase serve.
Let's do Firebase serve. Let's get that local link going. Copy. Postman. API puzzle pieces. Body. Let's see what happens now. There, new document created successfully, and we can see in database. Alright, now we can see in the database. They're not in order, which is cool. Yeah, user 1, 2, 3. I just made this body, and that's good to go.
So now that is served, and by the way, if you get a warning that your node version is higher than the one that Google Cloud Functions support, don't worry about that. As long as you write your code that is compatible with Node 6 and you don't use any features that are not supported by Node 6, you should be fine. So let's copy this. Let's go to Postman. Oops, not Chrome, Postman. Let's paste, and we give here within 3, 6. So screen 3 by Johnny.
I just skipped through the part
so
I just showed
let's
you.
Go here. Let's actually fix up the screen's route. What I want to do is that on
Oh, I do want to do one thing. We want to post a puzzle piece, not puzzle pieces, where just like him, scream and screams, so that's singular, so I want to keep that convention. So puzzle piece, puzzle pieces is a collection name. That's cool. All right.
Whenever we return a screen, I want to return its ID as well, and you'll see later why we actually need it. So here, instead of pushing all what's inside of that screen, I want to return. Let's actually fix up the screen's route. What I want to do is that whenever we return a screen, I want to return its ID as well, and you'll see later why we actually need it. So here, instead of pushing all what's inside of that screen, let's push an object, and this will have a screen ID. Here, instead of pushing all what's inside of that screen, let's push an object,
Okay.
and this will have a screen ID.
Screen push. Right. Dot push. Where is it? There we go. See, that's what. See, I was just following the video way too much. Puzzle pieces dot push. Dot push, and then they delete this, and they put an object, puzzle piece ID.
And we will take this from doc.id. It's a property that the document reference, or snapshot rather, has access to. .id. It's a property that the document reference, or snapshot rather, has access to.
Document snapshot. Document snapshot.id. So this is document snapshot. Each snapshot has an ID. Okay, cool.
Let's get the body, which is doc. Sadly, this is Node 6, so we cannot use the, like, maybe some of you are thinking, why don't we just do this, doc.data, which is called a spread operator, and just spread all those properties. But because this is Node 6, this feature is not yet supported, so we have to do them one by one. So body is doc.data.body, and user handle is doc.data.user handle. What else do we have? Created at is doc.data.created at. I think this is plan when we get the screen, so yeah, this is it. Okay. At. What else do we have? Created at is doc.
Okay, let me try to type this out. Doc.data body. Doc.data body. Okay, user handle. Data user handle. Okay. Doc.data user handle. created at
data created at.
There's a few more things that I also have, which is pp type and pp URL. pp type doc.data pp type pp URL. That's not good naming convention, but it's okay. pp URL doc.data .pp URL. pp type pp URL. Cool. I gotta go pp.
The screens. I forgot to postman when we get the screens, so let's add an S here, make this a GET request and remove the body. If we send this request, because we're still serving, it should up.
So do you think this is good? Puzzle pieces dot push created at, we got all these, return JSON, puzzle pieces. Return response.json puzzle pieces. Okay, so when they try to get puzzle pieces, we return puzzle pieces. That's it. Let puzzle pieces, yeah, so we put that in here. Okay, cool. That should be good.
Update, and there we go, we get the screen ID.
Alright, now let's try to do this. Puzzle pieces API get send. Yep, we are good to go. Great.
As part of our screen. Cool. Now let's change something, because there's a problem here. We want to order our function, our screens, and we want to get the latest one first. So let's actually order them by date, and we can do that by after collection screens. Let's chain a method called order by, and let's pass the property of created at. Make sure I don't misspell anything. And this by default takes an ascending order, but we want descending. We want
descending. That's what it stands for. Okay.
The latest one to be first. So let's hit Control.
Order by dot get collections. Okay. Dot order by created at descending order.
Save, and we go and we send this request, and we should get the latest screen first, and we do, the one we just submitted earlier. Brilliant.
Alright, now let's oh damn it. Let's try to do that. Send. And we do. That's the latest one. Yep. Okay, cool.
Now, one thing I want to change as well is that these created at, I don't want to use the Firebase timestamp type. Let's just use a normal date string, because that's recognized in JavaScript, and we can format it however we want. So here, when we create a screen, I don't want to use the timestamp thing anymore. Let's just use new date, and let's just transform this into an ISO string. So dot new date dot to ISO string, and it's a function. So this will
new date to ISO string. Okay. New date. Okay.
Make it into a string. And let me actually do something. Let's create a file called dbschema. And this, by the way, has no implications whatsoever on our code. It's just something that I like to do. To let db equal.
Alright, let's do what the master is doing. And he put it in the root folder. Okay, what are we calling it? dbschema.js. Let db equals.
Here we're gonna write how our data is gonna look like, just as a reference thing. We're not gonna use this file in anything. So I want each screen to have actually in the database it's not gonna have screen ID. We just return that from our code. It's gonna have a user handle though, which we will use to identify who is the owner of this screen. Let's make this an object. Like this. Like this.
Okay, so what object?
Okay, it's gonna have a user handle, and let's give this a dummy value of user. It's gonna have a body. Give this a dummy value of this is the
dummy values.
Body.
Okay.
And it's gonna have a created at, and this is an ISO string now. Let's actually quickly generate one. Let's do new at, and this is an ISO string now. Let's actually quickly like generate one. So let's do new date to ISO string, not ISO end string, ISO string. Let's copy this.
Okay, now we're gonna use Command Shift J, new date to ISO go, and then we copy this. So
I know you don't have to do this, but it just, I think it's good practice as a reference point. You don't have to open Firebase each time. One other property that two other properties actually we're gonna have like count, which is gonna be a number. Let's say 5, and we're gonna have comment count.
Comment count. I don't know if so. Comment count, like count. I'm not sure if I want these, but let's put them there anyway. And I want to add a couple other things, which is PP connected. So how many puzzle pieces connects to this puzzle piece? So like child PP, actually, child PP, puzzle piece, and child puzzle piece should be an array of objects, and in this there will be this. So what else do we have? Oh right, PP type, video, PP URL, PP URL.com. Okay, let's put this here, put this there, put that there. Child puzzle pieces. So we got some child puzzle pieces, which looks like that. Okay, like count. Okay, so we got child puzzle pieces. What else do we need? I guess parent puzzle pieces. They should be parent puzzle pieces. I don't want to make it too much, but parent puzzle piece. So every puzzle piece has a parent, has a child, and I guess it should be in a tag, and there should be one more thing. I know I keep adding stuff, but we're gonna add one more thing, which is tags. And for tags, we don't need all this stuff. We just need user handle, PP type, PP URL. We don't need created add. For tags, what are the we don't need comment count, Okay, for tags, what should it be? What data type should it be? Tag names, and then we could have like Yeah, and then we could just have strings. So we could have coding, JavaScript, Node, alright, so we got tags. So every puzzle piece should have users, all these things, okay? Alright.
Now, this is good practice because each time we get a screen, we don't want to as well check the comments that have the ID of the screen and count them and return that number, because Firebase charges you on the amount of reads that you do. So the comments that have the ID of the screen and count. Now, this is good practice because each time we get a screen, we don't want to as well check the comments that have the ID of the screen and count them and return that number, because Firebase charges you on the amount of reads that you do. So you're trying to minimize the amount of reads that you execute each time a user sends a request. So if you store these here already, you will avoid too many reads on your database and be charged less. Okay, so let's just leave this for now. So this is what our screen would look like, and yeah. Okay, so let's test this screen, this post screen. Let's make sure it's still working. So let's send a let's open up a new tab so we don't have to type the URL again. Okay, so post. I'm gonna have a body of type application JSON, and let's give this a body of new stream 4. I don't know, I don't feel creative right now. stream. Let's go to our database, and now we see the new one. And what is it? The new stream 4. And now the creator that is a string instead of a timestamp. Cool. Okay, so
that's what, okay. So why do you do this?
Okay, so let's just leave this for now. You will avoid too many reads on your database and be charged less. Okay, so let's just leave this for now. So this is what our screen would look like, and yeah. Okay, so let's test this screen, this post screen. Let's make sure it's still working. So let's send a let's open up a new tab so we don't have to type the URL again. Okay, so post. I'm gonna have a body of type application JSON.
Okay, so he's testing that we're doing a post now, puzzle piece, send. Let's create, actually, you know what, let's do another one. Okay, it's been created, and let's just do get puzzle pieces post 5, and yep, we get the ISO string.
Let's give this a this post would go to after the timestamp. Cool. Okay, so I think this is it for this video. Actually, one thing that I want to add, for those of you that are not in America and you're wondering why your functions are being deployed to, where is it? Now, this is a bit of a US Central instead of Europe. By default, Firebase deploys to Zone US Central 1. Now, this is a bit of a problem because it's going to add like 300 to 400 milliseconds of latency on each request. Maybe it's not a problem right now in testing, but later in production, this is going to slow down your application. So if you are like me in Europe and you want to change the deployment region, you just chain after functions here, you chain the method region, and you specify the string, the name of the region. In my case, it's going to be Europe-West1. And by the way, you can go to Google Docs, Google Firebase documentations to find all the regions available. If you're in America, this doesn't apply to you. Just leave it as is. By changing this, next time we deploy, it's going to actually be deployed to the Zone Europe-West1.
Yes, okay, cool.
In this video, we're going to start to work on authentication and on signing up users in particular. Let's go to our project dashboard. Let's go to authentication and enable it by clicking here, set up sign in.
How's OBO? OBS? OVO? Alright, authentication. Set up sign in method. And here on email/password, let's enable it and click save. Let's go to our project settings and let's go here, your apps. And let's grab this config object. Let's go to our project settings and let's go here. What's going on? Okay.
Your apps, and let's grab this config object
just want this.
And let's go to our project. Now we're going to be using the Firebase library, which is actually a client library, but we're going to use it to sign in and sign up our users and get authentication tokens. So let's cd into functions, and let's run npm install -- save Firebase. Okay, so let's cd into functions, which is actually a client library. And let's go to our project. Now we're going to be using the Firebase library, which is actually a client library, but we're going to use it to sign in and sign up our users and get authentication tokens. So let's cd into functions, and let's run npm install -- save Firebase.
Modern functions.
Okay, so let's initialize our Firebase application. Let's import it. So const Firebase equals require Firebase, and let's do Firebase dot initialize app, and we need to pass it that config object. Let's do here const, and let's paste in our config, actually in var const, and let's take this config and pass it to as the argument. And let's run npm install const Firebase equals require Firebase, and let's do Firebase dot initialize app, and we need to pass it that config object. Let's do here const, and let's paste in our config, actually in var const, and let's take this config and pass it to as the argument to initialize app, so that Firebase knows which app we're talking about.
Firebase config. Let's just make it config. And give it.
Let's actually make this express line express into one line by doing require express and calling it on the same.
Require express, and then we just do that.
Line. I think it just looks neat. Express line express into one line by doing require express and calling it on the same line.
Cool.
I think it just looks neater like this, and let's put it up here. Require express and calling it on the same line. I think it just looks neater like this, and let's put it up. Here. Let's create our sign up route. Let's delete this comment, replace it with another comment saying sign up route. And this will be a post route, so app.post, and it will be /sign up. And it's going to have a handler, so request response as the arguments. And now we need to extract the form data from our request body. So let's do const new user equals an object, and it's going to have an email. If you remember, our form has an email, a password, a confirmed password, and a handle field. So let's do email equals request.body.email, comma, and let's copy this line and paste it 3 more times. Select email.
So now we're building sign up.
Select email, control D, confirm password, and handle. We're not gonna validate the data for now, but let's write a to do here. Validate data. And let's sign up our user. So let's use the Firebase package we installed. Firebase.auth as a function like this, dot create user with email and password, and let's pass it exactly that. So new user.email. And the second argument will be new user.password. This returns a promise, so let's do dot then.
Let's
data,
get rid of that period, comma, bro.
Let's use the credentials. So let's do.
Okay.
If we are here, that means we've successfully registered. So let's return a response. Response dot status of actually 201, which means resource created. Let's give a JSON object with a message with a template string. Because we need to use a variable. Let's say user. And let's do $ curly braces to use a variable data.user.uid, which stands for user ID. And let's say sign
user
up successfully. And of course, let's catch any potential errors. And let's console.
Wait, why did they use 201? What is 201?
That is actually 201, which means resource created.
Resource created. Okay. Let's write that down here. Status 201 means resource created. Okay.
Let's give a JSON object with a message with a template string, because we need to use a variable. Let's say user. And let's do $ curly braces to use a variable data.user.uid, which stands for user ID. And let's say signed up successfully. And of course, let's catch any potential errors. And let's console.
Oh, we love errors.
The error. And let's return res.status 500. Oops, 500 server error. And it's gonna have a JSON with an error. Let's pass the error code. Let's return it in case there's any error. Let's save. And let's run Firebase.
Res.status 500. .json error.code
base serve and see if this is working.
Finally we got Firebase installed. Cool. So we got error.error and that's all good to go.
Let's return it in case there's any error. Let's save. And let's run for.
So return res as a JSON. I think it's looking good. Object.
Firebase serve and see if this is working. Let's copy this endpoint.
Wait. Yeah.
Let's go to Postman. Actually, already have it. So let's copy this. If there's any error, let's save. And let's run Firebase serve and see.
Okay. Now let's do Firebase serve. Postman.
If this is working. Let's copy this endpoint. Let's go to Postman. Actually, already have it. So let's do /signup instead of screens. And it's going to be a post request. It's going to have a body of type application JSON.
Okay. Postman API sign up post, and let's do email hello@gmail.com, password 123, confirm password, and what else?
Gonna have a confirm password, which is gonna be
user handle.
So let's send this request.
Handle, is that what we called it? Handle. Okay, cool. Handle. Unpuzzler 1. Let's post, sign up. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't.
And we got used.
So we made a mistake somewhere. Position 74. Come on, bro. Confirm. Oh, right there. That's our mistake. Send. Yes. User signed up.
The idea of the user signed up successfully, and we get our code of 201. Cool. So if we go to our Firebase project, let's close this. Let's go to authentication, and there we go. We get our user with this user.
Let's see. Unpuzzle's first ever user signed up. Let's get it, baby. Authentication. Nation. Let's go. Hello. Okay, cool. We got our first user signed up. All right.
User ID right here. Let's copy this
11 hours and 10 more and 15 more minutes to go.
user ID, and I'll tell you why in a second. What we need to do right now is that Firebase by default doesn't allow us to store more information about our users in the authentication collection, but what we can do manually is we can create, of course right now manually but later programmatically, we can create a collection here, we call it users, and this will store documents. For each user we'll have one document that holds extra details that we need, such as the handle and later like a bio, image URL, any extra details that you want to have. So, and the key thing that...
Let me just shut things down.
that I want to do here is that our users, of course by default because of Firebase, even though we can change this, but by default each email is restricted to one user, so the email has to be unique. But we want to also have the handle as a unique thing, like of course because this website is kind of like a copy of Twitter, so our handles will be unique. So we can use our handles as the ID. So here let's not do auto ID, and let's give the ID of the user that we just created, which is user as the document ID, and here we're gonna have a user ID key, which can use our handles as the ID. So it's kind of like a copy of Twitter, so our handles will be unique. So we can use our handles as the ID. So here let's not do auto ID, and let's give the ID of the user that we just created, which is user as the document ID, and here we're going to have a user ID key, and the value of that is the ID you just copied, and we're going to have it created at, and let's give this a timestamp, the date today, and say, I don't know, midnight.
So what do you say about
of
user information not being stored under the users of Firebase? You said something along those lines.
doesn't allow us to store more user ID, and I'll tell you why in a second. What we need to do right now is that Firebase by default doesn't allow us to store more information about our users in the authentication collection, but what we can do manually is we can create, of course right now manually but later programmatically, we can create a collection here, we call it collection, but what we can do manually is we can create, of course right now manually but later programmatically, we can...
Well, I think it's problematically, but he meant, but what he actually said was programmatically.
Create a collection here, we call it users, and this will store...
Let's go database, start a collection, users.
Documents. For each user, we'll have one document that holds extra details that we need, such as the handle and later like a bio, image URL, any extra details that you want to have. So, and the key thing that I want to do here is that our users, of course by default because of Firebase, even though we can change this, but by default each email is restricted to one user, so the email has to be unique. But we want to also have the handle as a unique thing, like of course because this website is kind of like a copy of Twitter, handle. So our handles will be unique. So we can use our handles as the ID. The website is kind of like restricted. Our users bio documents. For, of course, right now we'll have one document that holds extra details that we call it users. Though let's not do auto Twitter, so our handles will be unique. So.
Users next. I should call it Unpuzzlers, but that's a bit too much.
We can use our handles as the ID. So here, let's not do auto ID, and let's give the ID of the user that we just created, which is user as the document ID, and here we're gonna have a user ID key. And the value of that is the ID you just copied.
Oh, you're supposed to copy a puzzle piece, okay. Copy that. User.
And we're gonna have it created at, and let's give this a timestamp, the date today, and say, I don't know, midnight, doesn't matter. Let's add another field. This is gonna hold, what does this hold actually? Yeah, let's put the email actually, because if we need it, we're gonna have it here. So user@email.com. I think this is all that we have for now, so let's save. So now what we need to do, each time someone signs up, we need to check this collection, and we need to make sure that this handle is not taken. So if...
Yeah, we got to make sure this handle is not taken, and so I want to add a couple other things, of course. So when users sign up, I want to know how much they want to make per year. So money happy, what should I call it? Money goal. $100,000. How much do they want? Okay, money, annual okay, annual money goal, and this should be a number. Monthly money goal, 20,000. Weekly money goal. What? When users signing up? No, they should just be like, okay, weekly. Okay, let's just do weekly for now. So weekly money goal, let's make it like 2,000. And what else? So weekly money goal, and then we also want like interests in. What are they interested in? Are they interested in money? Whoop. Money, coding. There's a lot you could be interested in. Marketing. So these are the things I'm interested in, so that's what I'm adding. Okay, cool.
Right now, if someone tries to sign up with a handle of user, the desired behavior should be you cannot sign up because.
So when people sign up, I want to know what their interests are and how much money they want to make. And one thing, okay, this one is very important actually. Add field causes. And let's do Boolean. No. Alright, okay. Poverty, education, environment. What else? What are some popular global? That's okay. Poverty, education, empowerment. Domestic or abuse. These are the things I'm passionate about: empowerment, environment, education, poverty, abuse. Okay, for now, these are the ones. Okay, cool. Causes, interests, weekly money goal. How about that? That's pretty cool. So money, interest. So there's, I guess, like intrinsic. I guess these are intrinsic, and these are extrinsic. All right.
This handle is already taken, and
so when users sign up, I want to know what they're into, career-wise, or skill-wise. What their interests are skill-wise. I want to know what their interests are like causes-wise, and money-wise what their interests are. Cool. I guess I want materialistic. Okay, that's in the future. Like, do they want a house, cars, experiences? I guess those are a couple other things I want to add. Experiences. That's later on.
if they try to sign up with the same email, Firebase will automatically give them that error. So let's actually write the code that checks for the handle being unique. Let's look at our let's do db dot. Actually, we don't have db yet. Okay, let's change something. I saw this in the Firebase documentations and I like it. Let's do db, const db equals admin.firestore. It's a function like this, and wherever we need firestore, we just do db dot. So let's replace wherever we find admin.firestore like this, replace it with db because I make
where are you going?
Error. So let's actually write the code that checks for the handle being unique. Let's look at our let's do db dot. Actually, we don't have db yet. Okay, let's change something. I saw this in the Firebase documentations and I like it. Let's do db, const db equals admin.firestore. It's a function like this, and wherever we need firestore, we just do db dot. So let's replace wherever we find admin.firestore like this, we replace it with db because it makes more sense. So db, and there we go. Okay, so in our signup route, admin.firestore like this, we replace it with db because it makes more sense. So
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna stop streaming for now because I don't know, OBS is acting up. Come on, OBS. Or how do I reduce encoding? So what bitrate should I be using, boys and girls? Okay. Alright guys, hate to do this. It was my first time streaming. Hope you guys liked it. We streamed for about an hour. I really want to continue. Let me see. I really want to continue. I will continue, but I want to keep showing you guys what I'm doing. Screw it. Let's just continue. Screw it. Honestly, screw it. Screw you, OBS. Let's get it. So admin.firestore, where's admin? Admin right here, so you just put db admin db. So what we're doing is we so
db, and there we go. Okay, so in our sign up route we need to do db.collection
db.collection post validate data
users dot document. Actually, we can do document without the collection, so let's do db.document, and we need to pass it the path. So let's do a template string, and the path will be /users for the collection, and the document will be, let's do $ curly braces new user handle, and let's do .get. Of course, this returns a promise, and this will hold a and let's do .get. Of course, this returns a promise.
db.doc.get,
and this will hold a as we see here, document snapshot. Yes, document snapshot. So doc to have a conditional, let's say if doc first works, even if the, as we see here, document snapshot. Yes, document snapshot. So doc, and the way Firebase works, even if this document doesn't exist, we'll have a snapshot. So what we need to do is we need to have a conditional here, say if doc.exists, which is a boolean. If this document exists, it's true. So if this document exists, then this is a problem because this handle is already taken. So let's return res.status of let's give 400 a bad request, and let's give a JSON response. And the way we're going to structure our React app is that we're going to return not an array, an object containing errors. And if the error pertains to any field, let's say if the error pertains to the email, the error's name will be email. So in this case, the error's name will be handle, and the message will be this. Say if the error pertains to the email, the error's name will be email. So in this case, the error's name will be handle, and the message will be this handle is already taken. All right. And if this document doesn't exist, then cool. Let's create this user. So let's do.
So we are checking for users in the doc snapshot. If doc.exists, return res.status 400.json handle. This handle is already taken. Else
do here. So let's do Firebase. So let's do this. Firebase dot all of this. Now Firebase also create user with email and password. But new user email and this. But since we're already in a then block, we need to do this. Firebase also create user with email and password, new user. The email and this, but since we're already in a then block, we need to return this. So we return this, and then we chain another dot then, so that we'll have the result or like the return promise from this call here, which will hold beta. Let's do here now.
Alright guys, I do need to go somewhere, so I will stop streaming for now, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream. It was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys later.